Welcome to Yoga and Meditation with Alisa. And today we are going to do a short Yin Yoga set that is focused on post-cardio stretch deeper. So get your props, a bolster or a block, a blanket, and come meet me back at the mat. Today, we are going to be working on stretching your muscles and taking advantage of the post-cardio workout that you've just done. It's a great time to do some deep stretching. We're going to do it a little bit differently since it's Yin Yoga. We're going to hold the poses a bit longer, the stretches, the stresses on the muscles, a little bit longer than you would at, let's say, at the gym after doing a run on your treadmill, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get into what looks like a downward facing dog. So that's a triangle basically out of your body. Your palms are on the floor, your legs are straight-ish, and this is a walking of the dog. So I'm actually taking my feet one at a time, right and left, and just using this, pressing through the palms. Do this about 20 times. Feeling the stretch through the calves, the hamstrings, which is the back of the legs, the ankles. When you're running on pavement or a treadmill, these joints and these muscles can start to tighten. They're getting stronger, but they start to tighten. So we're just stretching, using the down dog to allow ourselves to take some deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And come down. Out of that, directly into half butterfly pose. Okay? And the half butterfly pose is actually working on the hamstring, which is the muscle behind the leg. So I'm going to grab a block because I'm going to use a block. You could use a bolster too as a prop. And I also, since caterpillar is a forward bend, I'm going to put a prop under my bottom so that I can get out of this tilt. Sometimes when we do forward bends, our bodies start to fetal position. So this helps me. I have more information on that in another video that's a deep dive of the caterpillar pose. So I have my left leg externally rotated into the butterfly wing, half of a butterfly wing. My right leg is extended out, and I'm going to come forward and forward bend. Go ahead and let yourselves do that. We're going to hold for time because it's a Yin Yoga class, right? So if you notice, I'm not necessarily, I could be just over this right leg. But that's one way to stretch the hamstring. Another way is to come a little bit more towards the center. If you do that, you'll notice that you're still feeling it in the target area, and the target area is the hamstring. I'm also getting a nice rounding of my spine, and the rounding of the spine is also a way to stretch the spine. We often only think of stretching the spine when we do a back bend or we arch it. While you're in these postures, you want to feel the target area. The target area again is the hamstring and the lumbar spine, which is starting to round. Also my shoulders are rounding, my head's rounding, my neck actually. It doesn't matter that that's happening. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I'm feeling it in the target area. The main target area is my hamstring, and I feel it there. So whether my back is rounded, my shoulders are rounded, whether my knee is bent or not, doesn't matter. I'm still feeling it in the target area. That's all that matters. Take maybe 2 more breaths here, using the exhale to relax. Relaxing through that muscle group, that long muscle down the back of the leg. And that's our cue to slowly come up. We want to be gentle about coming up, about going in and coming out of postures. And we're just going to go to the opposite side. So now the left leg is extended and the right leg is bent in that half butterfly pose. And you forward bend. Now when you do this on the left side, you may become aware of the fact that it feels really different on the left side than it did on your right. And it's important to notice that. In this style of yoga, the Yin Yoga, my teacher, Paul Grilly, will constantly remind us that every body is different and that even your right side and your left side of your body is different. So the bones are shaped differently, the curvature of the bones, the muscles wrap around the bones depending on their shape. So for me, for instance, you may notice that I'm not able to fold down as much as I did on my right side, and that has to do with my hip socket, and that's just the way it is. You can't change your bones. So you just want to come back over and over again in the Yin Yoga and say, am I feeling it in the target area? What is the target area here in the half butterfly? The target area is the hamstring. And if you were doing cardio, you were really working that hamstring. And it should be warm. It should be ready for you to do a juicy stretch like this, but we're holding it for time. We're only holding it for a couple of minutes. It's a brief Yin Yoga set that we're doing today. It doesn't matter if my back is curved or not. In fact, the curving of the spine is actually releasing some of the stress from running or hiking downhill. Okay, that is the cue to allow yourself some time to come up. And we're going to go from here right into what's called shoelace. So let's start with the right again. I'm still using the prop of the blanket because it is going to be a forward bend. The shoelace is in this posture, in the type of shoelace that I'm going to do, is a very tight shoelace. I kind of call this oftentimes a high top shoelace. So you cross the right leg over, and as you see, this is pretty tight, and then you would come forward. You can also loosen it up. You could even be in half lotus. It doesn't matter. Once you start to come forward, you will notice that you can feel it in the target area of the glute, the right glute, and the right IT band. So again, I'm folded over. I'm lifting my head up so that I can talk to you, but you can have your head hang. Again, you're still getting that beautiful secondary stretch and stress through the spine, including when you let your head bow, including the cervical spine. But the primary stretch and stress is on the glute muscle group and the IT band, which is coming down the side of the leg. When we are walking, running, cycling, we're not only using our quadricep, which is the top part of our thigh. We're also primarily, if you're running correctly, you're using your glute, because it's the biggest muscle group that is used for the forward movement of the leg, which happens if you're pedaling, walking, running. So you may really feel it here. You may need to prop up, right? I just changed my prop. You don't want it to be too intense, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It should be a sweet stretch. If you focus on the exhale, and when you exhale, you encourage the muscle group that you're targeting to relax. Relax more. That helps. Again, we're going to, with grace, come out of this posture. noticing the sensations as we do that. And then we shift the cross to the left leg. So we're going to do it on both sides, right? And find your way into this. The forward bend in this shoelace with the left leg crossed over, the forward bend is what really activates the glute. We're now looking at, with the left leg crossed over, the glute on the left side and the IT band on the left side of the leg. We're getting a lot of sweet stretching and stressing of the lumbar spine and the shoulders and the head, just the spine in general, by forward bending and allowing ourselves to round. And by doing that, again, it's really helping with when we're running, there is a pounding that will happen on the surface that we're running on. Not as much with cycling. But with the cycling, sometimes you're hunched over. Allowing yourself to notice the places and spaces that are holding tension in the body and using the exhale. The most juicy place that should be telling you that it's having its moment of stretching and stressing would be the left glute and the IT band. You can also move in more, you could twist more basically, as you see that I just did, if you're wanting to play with how can I make this a little bit more in that sweet spot that's perfect for me. This is what's working for my body, but it might not work the same way for you. Again, please make sure that you're trying to relax with each exhale. Okay. Gently coming out, and we're going to go right into the last posture in this brief, sweet set to work on our body post cardio. It's called the frog. So we start on all fours, and then we allow the knees to widen. And as soon as you get into it, and I encourage you to do that now, you will see that this is for the groin. And it's a great final stretch for this set. We'll only be here for about a minute because groin stretches are pretty intense. And the frog stretch, I'll also show you here this way. The frog stretch is a pretty simple way to access it. I have a whole series on all the different Yin Yoga postures, and they're a demo series, so you can look up any posture and get more information about all the different ways that you can adjust your body in it. But what you want to do is not be in a situation where it's painful, because pain is never gain, especially in the groin. But you are in charge of the dial. How you move your pelvis back or forth, where the weight is, can really impact that. Okay, gently come out and come lying right onto your back. We're going to just have a brief rebound, also referred to as a Shavasana, laying on your back, closing your eyes and noticing sensation. I like to call this really the afterglow of the yoga practice, where you get to feel the effects of the stretches on your body. It could be a warm vibration or strong sensation of energy, any of the places that we just worked. And then it begins to dissipate, and it kind of travels out throughout your entire body. Allow yourself 3 more breaths here. Just soaking out this last bit of goodness. enjoying the effects of your cardio workout and your post-cardio stretch, allowing yourself to stretch deeper. Hug your knees into your chest here. You can rock and roll your way back up. Come seated, still savoring this practice, having a moment of acknowledgement for the work that you've done today. I'm acknowledging the work that you've done today, and I'm so grateful that you have joined me in this opportunity to stretch more deeply and honor your body. I appreciate any feedback that you have. Please put it in the comments. Any ideas that you have for other stretches that you'd like to see us embark on here. I also appreciate your subscribing to my channel, liking the video. Your feedback is important, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.